Hey, what's up, guys? We're going to be breaking down the biggest balance changes to ever come to Clash Royale. This is kind of insane. I did not expect Clash Royale to be hitting us up with these huge changes, and hopefully most of them go through because overall it'll be very good for the game. So first off, we got the Dagger Duchess absolutely getting shredded. Her hits per second is going to go substantially lower. So it is going to go from 1 for every 0.45 seconds. That means that she's fired pretty fast. Now she is going to fire 0.5 seconds. That is a 10% hit speed nerf. She's going to do way worse on offense and, allow you to defend when your opponent is spamming into you. So if you're playing an offensive deck and you want to just all in all the time and you expect your Dagger Duchess to clean things up, she just doesn't allow those offensive decks to pressure as hard as they have been. For instance, Sparky decks or Elixir Golem decks that use Dagger Duchess to really defend every bait card, it's going to be worse. Next is this Chef. This Chef's pancake frequency is going to be going down. So it is going to go from 1 in 35 to 1 in 38. So that is an 8% nerf. And it's going to be nerfed across the board pretty much 8 or 9%. Less pancakes, less worries. You guys are just going to have a better time. An 8% to 9% nerf and how fast it cooks the pancakes is obviously going to be something that is going to be fun. I mean, the max amount of cook frequency, it's going to have to go up a little bit higher, right? Like they're going to have to cook a bit more pancakes for it to work out and get more value from the level ups. At least that's what I expect it to be. I'm not necessarily 100% clear on what the Chef nerf is doing. I assume that you now have to cook to 38 pancakes, and that's going to be a little bit more seconds, a few more ticks. Anyway, the next nerf is really substantial. It is going to be the Goblin nerf, the Spear Goblin nerf. So now its hit speed is going to be increased from 0.4 seconds to 0.6 seconds. That is a freaking massive nerf. It is going to attack 50% slower, essentially, on its first hit. That means that I would assume Spear Goblins would die if they're at a little bit of health. So the way it works right now, if Spear Goblins have a little bit of health, they fire faster than a Princess Tower and a Dagger Duchess, but they do not fire faster than a Cannoneer. Cannoneer will one-shot a Spear Goblin. It just fires fast enough to kill a Spear Goblin. However, I feel like Spear Goblins, if they are damaged and they're on literally 0 health, they might die fast enough that they won't get that hit on the tower. I think that's a good nerf. Goblin Gang is pretty much everywhere. Goblin Hut was really good. Goblin Giant was also overpowered. So, I mean, this kind of nerfs a lot of different things. Goblin Giant Evolution as well. So there's 4 nerfs, as you guys can see in the board. And that applies to every single troop that it attacks afterward. So if a Goblin Giant kills a Goblin Gang from, a Spear Goblin, then it targets a regular Goblin, it's going to end up, shifting and having that first hit nerf the entire time. First hit nerfs and buffs are one of the biggest changes in Clash Royale. It is a drastic impact. I actually think Spear Goblins are going to suck now. That's my thought on it. I think Spear Goblins will be really, really, really bad. Next is Miner. Miner's hit speed was going to be decreased from an 8%. So it's literally going to have 8% less hits per second. That means that Miner's just going to do less damage. I'm surprised that they nerf Miner, but also at the same time, man, Miner is one of the most annoying cards in the game. So it's good that they did that. It's good that they allow decks that are not played as much to flourish, and they adjust things that have like a 23% usage rate. Miner is played by everyone. I mean, also you could argue, hey, Miner was the thing that I had upgraded because I haven't been able to upgrade a lot of the new cards. I mean, it would make sense, right? No one's going to be using Spirit Empress because it's not that great. And also on top of that, it's a new card that takes a lot of money to max out. Whereas Miner, maybe you've maxed it out because you've had it for freaking forever. Anyway, Skeleton Barrel evolution. That thing dealt more damage. Its death damage was more than a fireball. So it's now going to do 243. Let's see how much a fireball does. So fireball at tournament standard does 207 for crown tower damage. But still, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot because there's 2 of them, right? Man. I don't know. I actually don't know if it does more than a fireball. They probably nerfed it a little bit harder because there are two of them. It might be changed to be slightly less or something, but I remember the Skeleton Barrel evolution straight up killing barbarians and seeing that in the gimmicky trailer for the Skeleton Barrel evolution. So yeah, the fact that the Skeleton Barrel evolution is getting a damage nerf when its death damage is going to be nerfed from 256 to 243 at tournament standard. That's pretty good. The next is going to be the freaking Dagger Duchess's little friend, which I feel like it looks like a battle healer, is the Spirit Empress. So she is going to have more health points. She's going to get a 5% health point buff. This card is already pretty insane because it one-shots most things. It one-shots Dark Goblins, Princesses, all that stuff. I can't believe how good it actually is in certain situations. It's not like the bandit or the boss bandit one-shotting the magic archer, but with its dash, but there are some pretty insane interactions where you would expect it to not deal like the entire tower. I think it's going to be a lot better with Golem, and it could be a lot better. I mean, substantially better with Elixir Golem now. So that's not great that the Spirit Empress Air version is getting buffed 5% health. Next is the Phoenix. Phoenix hit speed is going to be increased 11%, and its death reduction damage to towers is going to get removed. So it is literally going to get more death damage to towers. It used to have a 70% reduction, so it wouldn't deal that much death damage to towers. Now it's going to feel like a little bit of a mini balloon with the 100% reduction, going from 70% reduction down to 0, so it will deal its full damage when it dies near the tower. You basically don't want Phoenixes to die near your tower anymore. Next is the Zappies. Let's go, baby! Those Zappies are going to get a huge hit speed buff for the first attack, and this is big because Zappies fire super slow. That means the more attacks that they have, number one, they're going to be better at dealing with swarm cards. Number two, they're going to be really good at zapping things quickly at the start, and when they kill a card, then they target another card, so then the swarm cards are dealt with. But it's going to be good against anyone that has a beatdown deck, and you want to target it, and they can't like zap your Zappies away and then have your Zappies take a freaking century to attack again. So Zappy's going to not be as much of a liability in most decks. You will actively want to be playing them. The Zappies are going to be really, really good. Next up, we end up having the minions. So this affects Minion Horde, I believe, right? Like they can't just do this and then not have it affect Minion Horde. They didn't say anything. Oh, no. It's in the bottom. It's in the bottom. So yeah, minions speed increased 33%. Are they going to be moving like Dark Goblins now? I can't wait to play Minion Horde. After the buff, I think that'll be one of my most fun, favorite things to see. Anyway, that's cool. Next up, we got the Golem. Golem's health points for the Golemite damage is going to be increased from 48 to 102. That's a 113% damage buff for the Golemite damage. I guess that makes sense. Elixir Golem Golemites are something that you always had to worry about. You don't really have to worry about the Golemites. You just are like, oh, when they die, they're going to do damage. But the Elixir Golem, when you had to worry about the little form, it makes sense that Golem got a buff. This is actually a good change. So good job to Supercell for that. Shout out to them for actually making a good change to Golem. I mean, if Elixir Golem got a stupid amount of buffs, then a Golem should as well, in my eyes. Especially because Golem takes a little bit more time and build up for it, right? Elixir Golem shouldn't be as good as it is, at least in my eyes. I might be biased. I just hate Elixir Golem. Next is the Evolved Snowball. Its speed is going to be decreased from 5 to 3.33. It's not going to be as fast. It's not going to like whip around and pull things back as quickly, I guess. That's going to be, no. Not going to take longer. It's just going to be slower, which is probably worse. Probably want the snowball to be immediate so you can move things off the map as quick as possible. Anyway, that's unfortunate. That's not what we want to see. The Evolved Snowball is a fun card to play. It's really good against beatdown and stuff. But also at the same time, I guess it was overpowered with Goblin Drill decks. If you use the Evolved Snowball on a unit that is countering the drill and you pull it backwards, then the unit can't target onto the drill. Therefore, the Evolved Snowball is just like really good at versatility on defense and also on offense if you pull things off of drills or units that are on your opponent's tower. Next is the Firecracker. So her sight range is decreased 6% from 8.5 tiles to 8 tiles. That means that she's not going to be seeing troops as often. She's not going to, like, a sight range is something that if a unit is seen, then it will be attacked by the Firecracker. The Firecracker will target it. If the sight range is decreased on like a Electro Giant or a Golem, that's good. That means that the Golem or Electro Giant will less frequently get pulled by buildings. But if you are playing Firecracker and you're playing a card that wants to be targeting troops, that's a nerf. The Firecracker is a unit that wants to kill things. And if it can't see things, it can't kill them. Next is the recoil is also reduced 1 tile. Wow. 1.5 to 1 tile. That's a 33% nerf. Very big. Firecrackers would be a lot worse. I'm here for it. I freaking hate that card. One of the most obnoxious cards in the game. If you don't have arrows, you have a bad matchup into it. If you do have arrows, you have a great matchup. It's just situational, and it's not fun to play cards like that. I don't like that. So next is the Witch evolution. It seems like she will start to only heal from her own skeletons, and she is going to get an 18% heal buff. I don't know why they're doing that. That doesn't make sense. Honestly, that literally doesn't make sense. So she's only going to start healing from her own skeletons. I guess maybe not graveyard skeletons or whatever. I don't understand why they're changing it that way. I guess like maybe they're sick of like the Witch evolution staying alive for forever. But now she's going to heal a lot from her own skeletons. Oof. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, big dog. And you guys let me know down in the comment section if you think that's going to be more annoying, less annoying. What if there's 2 witches? What if there's 2 witch evolutions on the map? Do they heal from both witch evolutions? I bet you they heal from both witch evolutions. There's no way that they're going to code that differently, right? It's going to be like which evolution. They're going to be coded as red. And then like the red will heal itself. You know, they're going to be coded the same thing. So I wonder, I mean, there's not enough information on that. We'll see what happens. I hope that they do fix the evolved witch healing, but we don't know what's going to happen there. And also, I think that like a 18% health buff on the witch skeletons might be really annoying, because if it starts spawning skeletons in your face, might not die. Might take less to make an annoying witch evolution push, because you won't have to support it with as many skeleton cards as possible. Maybe it'll give you more versatility in building your decks too. Maybe it'll be a lot better in decks that aren't Giant Graveyard. I don't know. Anyway, we got the Rage rework a little bit with Lumberjack and Evolve Lumberjack. The damage is going to be increased 21% from 148 to 179. That's a pretty big decrease from duration, though. So the damage is not something that you care about that much with Rage. You super care about how long your units are raged up, so you can deal more damage, have more movement speed, and accomplish more with the Rage. The actual Rage is going to be decreased from 5.5 seconds to 4.5 seconds, an 18% duration nerf. Its damage is going to be increased 21%, but its duration, how long it lasts on the arena, is going to be 18 seconds. That's 18% nerf in the duration. So I don't like Rage as much right now. They're buffing something that doesn't really matter, and they're calling it a rework, but it's a straight nerf across the board. It is something that you do not want to enjoy playing Lumberjack Evolution or Lumberjack as much. I don't know. Maybe they hated Lumberjack Balloon. Maybe they're trying to remove some skillless strategies. I'm a fan of them. If this works out, if the Evolved Witch is worse, that's good. If Firecracker is obviously going to be worse, that's amazing. And then also, the freaking Lumberjack, if it isn't like bad, I'm okay with it. I think Lumberjack wasn't an impressive card. I didn't see a Lumberjack evolution and just say, hey, that sucks. Like, that's to play against. It's never been something super scary unless it was like really overpowered at the very start of their balance changes and their stupid. You could keep the Lumberjack evolution alive with double rages. If you guys remember that, let me know down in the comment section, where you could rage, use a Lumberjack's rage, and it would stay alive inside the rage no matter where the rage came from. So you could rage, mirror rage, use a Lumberjack's rage, and your Lumberjack would stay alive for forever. The ghost, it would kill everything. That was the only time I was ever scared of it. Right now, it's kind of a joke. But I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that nerf to the rage. You guys let me know on that. I think that's the most controversial one from all the changes. I think that was just bad, straight up, in my opinion. The other ones I can understand. I don't understand that. I also like the fact they're nerfing the heck out of all these stupid towers that, I mean, they're pay to win because they cost money to upgrade. And also on top of that, I mean, you play a bait deck into someone that's running a Dagger Duchess, you probably lose. You play a tank deck like a Golem into someone that has Cannier, you probably lost the game. So thank God they have found out that these towers are bad for the game. Look at that. The Cannier tower is going to get a huge nerf. So its damage is going to decrease 17%. And then its hit speed will increase, so then it's going to be less polarizing. I guess if it's shooting one in every 2.1 seconds, and going from 2.4 seconds to 2.1 seconds, increasing its hit speed 14%. That is going to be better against bait decks if you absolutely need to. But of course, you're not going to be running Cannier against bait ever. You still need the proper support. So that buff doesn't really do anything. The damage does do a lot, though, guys. Going down from 386 to 320, 17% damage nerf. That is substantial. It is going to be way worse against beatdown decks. Towers like Dagger Duchess and towers like Cannier probably will be unplayable. I still think people are going to do their degenerate chef strategies and just spamming all their crap because they don't know how to play the game. They're not going to switch. They don't know what they're doing. And also, it's not that much worse. Like, the chef tower is still going to give you that level 1 advantage. It's still going to be playable. I do not think that the other towers are going to be remotely good. Dagger Duchess will be completely killed in my eyes. And I think that Cannier might be playable, but it's probably a lot worse than it is. And it might kill all of those decks that are like log bait with no support, no cannon, no Tesla, nothing. Straight up log bait with nothing else is not going to be as good because you are relying on the Cannier for all of your damage. So all those gimmicky, stupid decks that are spamming bait cards every 2 seconds, they're dead. Cannier is completely necessary for those decks to function. So good job to Supercell for that. I would not be playing those decks anymore. I also wouldn't be playing Sparky decks or decks that really rely on Dagger Duchess unless you want to run Princess Tower. You have to adapt your deck to play Princess Tower now. You can't use the gimmicky decks unless you want to do Chef and still be a moron, which you're allowed to. You're allowed to be a degen. It's kind of fun to be a degen once in a while. But yeah, I think Princess Tower would just be like the baseline, most consistent tower, and the other ones will be more of gimmicks. Anyway, next thing is the freaking, holy heck, there's just so many. Oh, wow. There are like way more nerfs than I thought and changes. Goblin Hut. So the spawn delay is going to go from 1 second to 0.5 seconds. So it's going to spawn pretty much instantly. It's going to spawn a lot more frequently. But that means like it's going to spawn faster at the start. But it's going to be nerfed really hard from the spawns per second. 5% nerf. You might not think that's a lot, but it actually is. The first spawn is going to be good, obviously, but it's going to spawn less often. 5%. 5% nerf from a 1.8 seconds to 1.9. I don't know how big of a deal this will be in practicality. It's not a buff, but it seems like it's a buff because you see a big number from the 50% spawn delay. I don't know why they wouldn't just do like a straight nerf. Like, in my eyes, I wouldn't give it any other stuff. I would just nerf the hell out of it. I would make sure that it does not spawn Spear Goblins as much. It is probably one of the most frustrating things ever. I don't like it. I don't like the Goblin Curse or the Goblin Hut and the Goblin Curse too. I wish Goblin Curse was nerfed, but I'm not a fan of giving it any buff whatsoever. It shouldn't be reworked. It should just get a straight up nerf. The amount of Spear Goblins it poops out is still insane. So 1.8 seconds to 1.9 seconds each spawn for each 1.8, 1.9. 5% nerf. Not that big of a deal compared to what it could have been. But it will be a nerf, probably. Next is the Dark Goblin. Wow, Dark Goblin got cooked. So things that fire really, really, really fast, when they get nerfed, you'll feel it substantially. The Dark Goblin is going to fire 13% less fast. That applies to the evolution as well. And it's going to move from one shot every 0.7 seconds to one shot every 0.8 seconds. It's not going to be a machine gun near as much, especially with Rage Nerf. I feel like the meme strategies will not really be a thing of Dark Goblin going pew, 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 pew. It's not going to do as much. So its damage will do higher, and its damage is going to go from 133 to 148, so 11% damage buff. But overall, with the nerf to the hits per second, it's going to be a pretty drastic nerf to it. And, oh my gosh, the Dark Goblin poison duration. Thank God. Good job, Supercell. You guys were morons for keeping this in the game as long as you did. The Dark Goblin evolution, if you got a poison tick and then you arrowed it, the Dark Goblin poison would stay on the arena for 4 seconds. Think of it from the perspective of 2 Dark Goblin shots. It stacks up more. Another Dark Goblin shot. It stacks up more. You have all these Dark Goblin poisons that stack on the arena, and it does a dramatic amount of damage to everything. It literally, if someone has arrows and they don't have elixir and they're at 2 elixir and they need to get the arrows at 3, and then they arrows and then the arrows take time to travel, the person will stack up like 3 poison ticks and it will kill the entire push. It's dumb. Dark Goblin evolution in its current form allows you to not play buildings and play Clash Royale in a way that it shouldn't be played. All those decks with Boss Bandit, Dark Goblin evolution, or Skeleton King, Dark Goblin evolution with a Cannoneer and no tower and just cycle cards, those should never exist. So finally, Clash Royale has realized that, and they're nerfing Dark Goblin evolution. So that's going to be a huge buff for Golem, a huge buff for Lava Hound, huge buff for beatdown decks in general, Elixir Golem. Oh my gosh, everyone that is losing to the Evolved Dark Goblin completely killing their entire push is going to be so happy. Mostly the decks that have support cards behind their pushes, like Elixir Golem and Golem. Not as much Electro Giant. Electro Giant doesn't necessarily care as much as that. It doesn't have as many support cards. I mean, it's still a buff to Electro Giant. Don't get me wrong. Cannoneer and Dark Goblin getting nerfed, that's a buff to Electro Giant for sure. But it's not going to be as big of a buff. All right, next up, we have Archers. Archers, holy heck. Their damage per second is going to be pretty nerfed from the evolution department. Its power shot damage is going to be 22% nerf. That's big. That's actually really big. The evolved archers are going to be way worse. But regular archers, hey, they're getting a bit of a buff. They're dealing 107 to 112. So the power shot, their maximum range, if you guys didn't know, evolved archers dealt more damage the further they were away. Now their power shot range for their maximum damage is going to be decreased from 4.5 to 4. So that means it'll be easier to get its maximum damage. You don't have to be as far away to get that. That's good. Now you're able to more consistently get the maximum damage from the evolved archers, I guess. But the damage is going to be so much less. They kind of gutted our girls' evolved archers. They're not near as good. So yeah, that's interesting. Anyway, let's get into some games and let's show you guys what's up. The best balance changes in my eyes are going to be the Golem. I mean, I'm biased with that. And then also the Zappies. Those are my 2 favorites. Everything else, I love. Actually, I think that I'm going to take everything back. I think the nerfs to the towers are the best thing for the game. Everyone hates that. Good job nerfing Skeleton Barrel as well. No one here, unless you spend a lot of money on the game, is happy about those cards staying strong. Maybe you invested in a tower and now you're sad, and I understand that. But for people that have all the money to unlock everything or don't have any money because they don't want to spend money on towers, it's overall good. Good job to Firecracker. I think these balance changes are an overall W. The only thing that they kind of messed up on is maybe the Goblin Hut and the Lumberjack, but overall those are like, they don't really matter that much. Because I don't care too much about Lumberjack as a card. I think that it'll still stay okay. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You guys let me know down in the comment section what you think. So this is going to be my main deck in Clash Royale. I've played it a lot. Zappies are going to get a buff. I think this thing will be a lot better. The next thing that I think will be good is, unfortunately, even though Lumberjack is going to get a bit of a nerf, this is kind of a deck that you don't really want to substitute that much out for. Currently, it plays Dagger Duchess, but you should be playing Princess Tower. I will play 1 game with my main deck and probably peace out, Girl Scout. It's going to be a very short stream today, guys. Really appreciate everyone being here. Let's play 1 game and see what we can do. So this is the deck that I would play personally if I wanted to win a lot of games and just play them all in a row and hopefully win every game that I play. Sparky needs a buff. I mean, Sparky is going to get a nerf, unfortunately. Dagger Duchess is one of the best cards in the game for Sparky, and the fact that Sparky can't be playing with that is unfortunate. So the way that this deck works is you don't really want to be doing much besides a Goblin Cage in the middle first play. It's just like the safest thing to do. If you can get to the evolution of the Goblin Cage, that's awesome. If you're cycling Royal recruits or you're playing super aggressively, it's not necessarily the best strategy because hypothetically your opponent could have Sparky like this guy, probably has Sparky. If I go in for the wrong play and I decide, hey, I'm going to go and spam all my stuff today, I could instantaneously lose the game. He is going to have some problems here. He does not have a good response here. I do think that I don't have the right card cycle, though. I might have to go Royal Recruits, and I don't like that into Elite Barbarians. It'll still work out for us, but I want to drop them a bit earlier so they can start to load in. The unfortunate reality is going to set in here that I don't have a good Sparky answer, and I just cycle my Royal Recruits. But I could maybe go this, Goldenite at the bridge on the left side. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to just spam it because I expected the Sparky, and I predicted correctly. I hope I take the entire tower. That's what we're going for right now. And then I have Goblin Cage Evolution. I also have Zappies. So what I can do is I can go Goblin Cage, sack the Goblin Cage on the Sparky, then Zappies on top of the Sparky, and let the Goblin Cage do its thing. If he mini P.E.K.K.A.s, I might get cooked. Okay, I might get cooked. I think I'm kind of cooked. Maybe I'm not entirely cooked. I think I have to let it lock. And then I can go Zappies here. And then we'll see how it goes. Oh, wait. It didn't reset. Oh, no. That's tragic. Okay, guys. We're still in it. We're still in it. Guy BM'd us a little bit. He said, well played. Love to see that from a Sparky player. You love to see the high skill from the Sparky. All right, we're going to probably have to go bing on all this stuff here. That's great. We do kill all of his units. And we also have potential of going for Royal Hogs here. Maybe not the best Royal Hogs of my life, but if we can get like one little piggy surviving, that'd be awesome. Yes. So nice. And we still have Royal Recruits. It's a very winnable game. It's winnable, guys. And we might flex on him a little bit if that's the case. Not the best Goblin Cage, to be honest. Not the best Goblin Cage whatsoever, eh? We'll just go Royal Recruits directly on this. It is kind of difficult to kill these Sparkies when they spam as much as they do. Okay, we're going to have to arrows here probably. And also go Goblin Cage again. I think I lost, guys. Oh, my God. We'll play one more game, and then we'll end on that. Dagger Duchess honestly needs a buff if you're not using a Sparky deck. I think that Dagger Duchess definitely does not need a buff, bro. I think that Dagger Duchess is honestly one of the most annoying towers to play into. If you're running the bait deck and you lose because of it, it's awful. It's not a good thing. Do you think this deck is good without Evos? I think you need Royal Recruits Evo every time. Unfortunately, that matchup was like definitely good for us. And just the reality is that like you mess up into a Sparky and you just have a mechanical error, you're going to lose the game. So it is something that I've realized that I do make errors from time to time, and it's not a fun time, but it be what it be, you know. It do be that way. Also, we're going to be in a much better start right now. We're probably playing into a Mortar deck, and he might not even get a good ability here. He might just lose the Skeleton King, and he doesn't have Bats in cycle. Wait, what? Wait, this is so much better for us. This is so much better for us. Hell yeah, brother. I can go Royal Recruits. Oh, wait, never mind. This is kind of bad. I don't know if I can defend this. I mean, I think I do. I just need to go like Zappies or Goldenite. I think I'm going to go for Goldenite. It'll be thicker. I like that more. And now we have Counter Push. Ooh, that's a Firecracker arrows if I've ever seen one. That's nice. I'm not going to spend any extra elixir here. I think we're okay. I do have Zappies as well. And we just cycle them like this. Oh, no. Dude. Dude. Okay, it's dead. We're fine. I was so scared for a second. I was like, why would you spam all of that? But then I realized that he's one of those spammy players. He doesn't have the best card cycle right now because he just dropped Wall Breakers. But I guess he has Goblin Gang. It's totally fine. This is still going to be a lot of damage. It's not going to be the damage that we want. We can't necessarily, like, win the game off of this. But he doesn't have the best card cycle because he doesn't have Bats. So hypothetically, we could just... Oh, my God. That's so annoying. I actually just have to eat that. I think Royal Recruits might have been better. It's hard to say. No, I think Royal Recruits would have definitely been better. What does he have here? Okay. Golden Knight into that is not ideal. It's just difficult to come up with the best answer to these players. Firecracker will get... Oh, my God. He just... I thought for sure he would drop that in a spot that wouldn't happen, too. I'm so surprised. Anyway, Bats will die here. You can go Zappies early. Bats don't do any damage, which is awesome. I don't have arrows for the Firecracker. It's okay, maybe. We'll see. Not the spot we want to be in, baby. Not the spot we want to be in. We'll go Golden Knight ability. Dash on everything, ideally. If we can hit the tower, that'd be awesome. Tick. We also have Firecracker here. Counter. Hopefully. Arrows are fine. Piggies might deal a lot. I don't know how much, though. Not enough. That's the answer. All right, well, we could fireball on absolutely everything here. Or we could just go Goldenite. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We got to go Goldenite. And then he's probably going to Firecracker me. Oh my gosh, guys. It's coming down to the wire. I don't know. I mean, I have to arrows this. If that Firecracker gets... I'm just dead. Oh my goodness, guys. So, it is what it is. I lost the 2 games today. I do have to go. I was hoping we'd be able to win the games. It happens. Damn. So, I don't want to spoil anything, but I do win most of my games whenever I play. I guess just today, it wasn't the meant to be. But yeah, if you look at my battle log, we literally won every single game I've played. And the deck works really, really well. It's just unfortunate that today, the last 2 games that I decided to stream early in the morning, I just didn't play my best. I love you guys. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. I'll be back later tonight. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace. Hopefully everyone has an awesome day. Deuces.